Oh, hey, look, it's Generations Jazz. Didn't I already look at Generations Jazz? Well, yes, I did, but this is not Generations Jazz because I don't know why I'm doing this because the title of the video tells you what it is. Yeah, this is Takara United Jazz. It is Reveal the Shield Jazz, but the Takara version. The reason I have this is, well, one, look at it. Just, take a minute to appreciate just how glorious and gorgeous this thing is. But two, Reveal the Shield Jazz was a really cool figure. And, I liked it a lot. I even did a custom on it, which in hindsight, I didn't do a great job with. But the thing is, something that always put me off on Reveal the Shield Jazz, even after doing the customizing, is the fact that it used this kind of off-white for a lot of the plastic, and it was almost like a slightly yellow tinge to it. And I don't think the figure was yellowed, it's just the plastic itself has like a little like beigey tinge to the white. And the Takara version is much more like pristine white. It's a much brighter white. It's still a little bit off-white, but like it's way more downplayed, and it's not beigey. On top of that, it's just the deco is better. You've got the silver on the rims, this, the line that goes all the way around all this here. The grille in the front is painted silver. You got the red stripe here. There's more stuff, which we'll see in robot mode, but like this gray plastic is, now it is, I can't actually tell if this is gray plastic that's been painted silver or if it's plastic that is made to look silver, like the actual plastic itself. I don't know. Point is, I just like this version better, and I really like the deco, and have been eyeballing it for a while. And I want to say a year, maybe 2 years ago, I was finally able to get a hold of the Takara of the Takara version like I wanted. And yeah, this is, once again, it's a great figure because it's the same figure, but like it looks even better here. It rolls really well when everything's lined up properly. And yeah, it's like I did not do any customizing to the vehicle mode. I did a tiny bit of customization to the robot, which I will point out, but like I didn't paint any of the stuff you're seeing right now. I didn't add any repro labels to it or anything. All of this is just the Takara paint job, even like the rear window. That's all stuff that was painted out of the box. Taillights and everything, it's, yeah. But it's Jazz. It's Reveal the Shield Jazz. It's not Porsche, but it's very identifiable as Jazz, even though it's not a Porsche to me anyway. And I like it. I like the car. I like the deco. I really like the deco. And yeah. So now that basics are out of the way with the vehicle mode, let's move straight on to size comparisons. This is probably going to be a much faster video because I already looked at Reveal the Shield Jazz a bit ago, and this is, as I said, the exact same figure except the deco is different. So there's our Tall Deluxe. There is Samus. So you can see how Jazz measures up there. All right, let's get all these out of here. Bring in Burnout. There he is with Legacy Burnout, our Modern Deluxe, and he's slightly bigger, but like kind of roughly the same size. So there is that. Get her out of there. Bring in another Deluxe Jazz. Whoops. There's Studio Series 07. Well, not 07, but like the Studio Series from the 07 movie Jazz with this goofy little weapon, which will just get off of there. And yeah, this guy is a tiny Deluxe. So here's how they measure up together. Now, this is the reissue that they did in that like multi-pack, so the coloring on this guy is a little bit different, but yeah, here's how those two look together. Jazz out of there. And now for our most important of size comparisons, here is United Jazz with the Duck Tank. Now, before we turn this Jazz into the Jazz we've seen already, but is slightly different, If you like this video or any other videos that I've done on the channel and you want to support me, I do have a Patreon and a Ko-fi, links to both at the end of this video as well as down in the description. Otherwise, you can also support by doing the typical YouTube thing of like, comment, share, subscribe. Now to transform this guy, it is exactly the same as Reveal the Shield Jazz because it's the same figure. So we're going to take this little bit here and pull this out. This will become the gun. Put that up to the side. I'm going to pop open these doors, which is this one is a little bit. It's weird that this doesn't like to on this figure physically that I'm holding in my hand. I don't think it's all of the United Jazz figures, but like this one, this window doesn't like to go in the same way this one does, so it's a little bit tricky to get in and out. But yeah, open the doors. Now, what I actually gonna bring down the arms like so. Now what I prefer to do with the legs is kind of angle them back because these tabs this is like translucent plastic that's painted, so like I don't want to risk breaking these tabs, so I kind of angle it back like this to help to kind of unhook the tabs from back here. And it's, come on, untab. Don't freak me out. There we go. So that has untabbed them. I don't think that's showing any stress, but I'm a little bit worried about that breaking. But anyway, untab the legs, then bring them down, straighten them out in as much as possible right now. Now I'm going to split the legs, and here things get a little tricky with one of these legs is a little bit tricky, so I'm going to flip out the foot. Just kind of keep it like that for now. Now I'm going to fold up the spoiler and kind of rotate this whole assembly back. And yeah, this is where it gets tricky because this piece is kind of popped up slightly, so you kind of have to push that in to get this to go through here. But once that's done, this can angle up, this can rotate out, and this little silver piece here is spring-loaded, so that'll open up along with everything. So just bring this around so that the spoiler kind of sits on the back of the car there, and you can shift the leg knee into place. Then fold the foot up until it bumps into this piece, and fold the heel back, and there is one leg. And now this one, does this leg transform without problems? I don't remember. Let's rotate this. Nope, they both kind of lock in. So yeah, you can kind of see how this piece isn't quite, like it sits a little bit past this opening here, so you just want to push that in and down. Like, transforming this guy when I first got him was scary because I didn't know what was getting caught, but once I figured it out, it's actually really easy to just pop that in. It's not even scary to do. But anyway, rotate this around so that that piece comes out and fills out that whole thing. Flip up the foot, flip back the heel, and yeah, looking at this, you can see that the foot is gray plastic, so it's painted silver, which is fine. But yeah, there are the legs, all done. Jazz has legs. Now for the rest of this transformation, move this camera up a bit and zoom in, better show what's happening. The arguably, I was going to say arguably, no, it's literally the coolest part of the transformation. Take the arms and fold them out, but that moves the wheels and sections of the front of the car here down and in, including the floor at the top here. So when you pull this in, this all swings around, and you want to be careful because like there's this piece in here that's like this side is like a little hook, so you want to get that out of position first. But like, yeah, you bring this in, and that opens all of that up. With that opened up, you can take the shoulders and rotate them into place, just around like that. And then lastly, this whole assembly moves down, and as it moves down, you'll see it bring up the robot head, and that just comes down like so, and then this just kind of can push up and up against the back, and that's it. That is all for the transformation. That is Takara United Jazz in robot mode, and he looks... I was going to say he looks as cool as Reveal the Shield Jazz. I should also actually get him fully into frame. I would say he looks as cool as Reveal the Shield Jazz, but that's not entirely true. He looks cooler than the Reveal the Shield figure, because of what I mentioned previously about how like the white is just more vibrant, and you just get more with this guy. Like you get like the silver in the shins is really nice, and the feet. The color separation is pretty much the same, but like the silver for the midriff is really nice too, and like all the detailing for the chest looks really good. And now the one bit of customizing I did on this guy, I painted the visor. That visor is painted light blue because I thought it looked really good. Normally it is this dark blue color, which is the same as the windows here, and that's fine. I didn't think it looked bad, but like I really like Jazz with a sky blue visor, at least cartoon style Jazz. So yeah, I took it upon myself to disassemble the head, which is just take out that screw, pull the thing apart, take the light piping block out, painted it blue, let it dry, put it all back together. Really simple process, and I think it looks great. And yeah, this is just Reveal the Shield Jazz in an even better deco, and it looks amazing. It's practically kibbleless. I mean, yes, there is kibble, but like it's all mostly supposed to be there. Like the back of the car on the back is whatever, but like it's fine. It doesn't get in the way. It's not like really a backpack, and like the door wings are supposed to be there. What happens with the legs is really clever, and like it all looks very Jazz-like. It's a very, very cool figure. And he does the same kind of stuff that the Reveal the Shield version did, because it's the same figure. He's got these bits back here that if you untab them, they're just kind of tabbed in like this, but if you untab them and swing this translucent piece around, you can angle this down and give him speakers. That pulls out... Whoop, that came unclipped. That is not actually clipped in super well. I wonder what the deal is there. Oh, okay, it's okay. I think it just, the transformation must have popped it out a little bit. But yeah, there you got speakers on the door wings, which is, I love that. He's got his little pistol, which we'll look at again in a second. But first we got to do the head and articulation. I almost forgot about that. So for the robot mode head, it is Jazz's head with a little bit more of a, I guess, harsh sculpt to it, but it looks really cool. And I personally really like the light blue visor with all of this. Like, you got the black helmet, the silver face, normally a dark blue like this for the visor, which is fine, and it did light pipe, but like I really like the light blue. It pops so hard with all of this, and it looks really good on Jazz. And it is just the Jazz head with like the ears and everything, but like I said, more harsh in terms of like the sculpt. Now for articulation, the head is on a ball joint, so it does tilt left and right a little bit and look up and down a fair bit, and rotate left and right. It can go all the way around, but like you kind of have to work it a certain way to get it like around certain things, and yeah. Also, as with Reveal the Shield Jazz, this does not peg in, but on the United version, it feels like it locks in, like not locks in, but it feels like it sits better. Like, this doesn't seem to want to flop up past this point, which is good. Anyway, the door wings can angle back if you want them to. You can't tuck them down, but they can angle back, which I am going to do to get them out of the way for the arm articulation. The shoulders, these wheels are stuck there, so you're not going to be able to get the arms to rotate all the way up, at least not like without some fudging, but like they can go forward to 90 and back to a little past 90. You can go up and around like this, but the wheels make them have to go out like that. But you can kind of do that, I guess, which doesn't look great, but you can do it. I should zoom in more to show what I'm doing. Yeah, so you do that, but the shoulder's on a ball joint, so you get some butterfly motion, and also because of the transformation, there's like this hinge here for the for that assembly in there. which allows you to kind of shift the shoulders up and down. I prefer them up, but doesn't really lock in. So there's that. You get a bicep rotation. The elbows are they're double jointed, but like they're kind of weird to use. Basically, if you use just the bottom joint, that's about as far as they're going to go. But if you use the top joint first and then the bottom joint, you can curl the arms in a lot better. The wrists are ball jointed, so they can wiggle all the way around and like also turn. Not all the way around, but they can wiggle and turn. And also the arms can go out that far, that's really good. I like that. We get these out of the way. This flap can kind of move out of the way a little bit. So with the flap out of the way, you can get waist rotation. If it's pushed up against the butt, you're not really going to get anything. But with the flap out of the way, you can get waist rotation. And if it's all the way out of the way, you can go all the way around, but you kind of want to be careful because of these tabs here. But can go all the way around technically, but I feel like what you get like this is like that's plenty. The hips are ball jointed as well, so the hips can kick forward that far, can go back that far. If you get the that flap out of the way, they can go back a bit further. Can go out to almost 90. You can not use that as a this is not going to work as a thigh swivel, but you do get a dedicated thigh swivel. The knees are double jointed, but because of the shape of everything going on here, you're really not going to get much more than this for the bend. Like there's just a lot of bulk back here, so that keeps the knee from bending too far. And it can bend forward if you want it to. There's that, and then that's it. Like you don't get any ankle rotation or tilt, but you can angle the ankles. Like you can angle the heel or the toe down, so you can kind of play around with that. So it gives you a little bit of articulation with the feet, but nothing that I would call substantial. So there is all of that. It's as with Reveal the Shield Jazz, it would be nice if more of this guy's torso locked together, but it's fine. You know, he gets the job done, and like it's fine. It's not like falling over, and if it did start to get really, really loose, I could always tighten it, but like it does kind of suck that the torso doesn't lock in, you know? Like you could just do that. But at least it kind of more solidly holds like this. You know, it's better than nothing. And the gun is this little pistol-looking thing, little snub pistol, which can go in his hand, and it looks fine, but it also can extend. If you use this double hinge here, you can fold it out, fold this back up, and that gives it a much more regular-looking blaster kind of look, and that can peg in the hand like that, and that looks better. And then there's also the gimmick with these that just this one keeps wanting to come off. But if you unclip the speakers, rotate these around as well, and grab this. Let's see if I can remember. I never remember how this goes. Let's see. So these clip over here, and yeah, okay. So they clip and peg? No, they don't. What am I missing? Oh, right, okay. So this clips over this bit here, then this swings around, and there's this little tab here that goes into this little slot on the speaker bit. That no, I think I had it right the first time. I'll put that back in, swing this in, and tab that. Seriously, what am I doing wrong here? I know this is supposed to work. I'm sure people are screaming at the screen at this point. Let me try this one. Clip that in, swing that around, and tab that. Oh, see, that one worked. All right, I guess this wasn't pushing hard enough. Of course, this is also the clip that seems really loose, which isn't great. But yeah, peg those in, and that turns the gun into a much beefier blaster, which he can then use like that. And that's also cool for what it is. I'm just going to disconnect this. Like, you see how easily this pops off. I think this is either warped or something else is going on. But yeah, we'll just put this back in here and leave this like this, because I prefer to give this Jazz, at least, I prefer to give him the that has a nice click to it. It's just that one on this side. Yeah, I prefer to give him the shoulder speakers, I just think, or the door wing speakers. I think it looks good on him. So, there we go. That is all the stuff for United Jazz. Let's move him back here. And then go up a little bit more. I think that should be enough. And do the last of our size comparisons. So here is Dinobot, who is, as a reminder, Tall Voyager. Our Tall Deluxe, Samus, and our regular Deluxe. So you can see here that United and Reveal the Shield Jazz, they are both figures are, I'd say, like Tall Deluxe height. Maybe even a little taller. He's a Deluxe from what I remember, but yeah, this guy is more closer to the height of Overprime back there than Burnout. And get all of you out of here. Dinobot out of here. And just in case anyone is curious, the gun is not blast effect compatible. That's not happening. So, not going to work there. But anyway, there is Jazz again, and we'll bring in other Jazz. Studio Series 07 movie Jazz. Who, again, he is small for a Deluxe. We bring in Burnout. You can see that even Burnout is a little bit taller than that Jazz. So he is a little on the small side, but he is also on the tall side. So yeah. But it's also interesting just how drastically different I mean, we knew how drastically different they were. We're like, wow, what a difference in design for these two figures. Get you out of there and do our last but most important size comparison. Here is Jazz with the duck tank. And that will do it for Takara United Jazz. The number is going to be in the title of the video, but yeah. This is an incredibly cool figure. I really liked, as I said, Reveal the Shield Jazz, and the only reason I got rid of my Reveal the Shield Jazz is because I got this guy. Because this is the version of this mold to get in my mind, and I'm very glad I got him. He looks fantastic. I mean, he looks fantastic in any iteration that you can find him in, but like, I really like the brighter white and the added paint decos, and I also really love the way the light blue in the visor pops. So yeah, very cool figure. As I said before, glad to have him. A little scary to transform because of these little tabs back here, and if those break, then the vehicle mode is not going to hold together quite as solidly, but it could still technically work, I suppose. Yeah, very cool, and if you're able to track down a version of this mold for a good price, absolutely get it, especially if it's the Takara version. So that's going to do it. Or rather, that is all I have to say about this guy. What do you think? What do you all think of Reveal the Shield Jazz or United Jazz? Whatever your thoughts, feel free to chime in down below. I always enjoy hearing from you all. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and next video is as much of a surprise to me right now as it is to you watching this.